Well, it's early morning and we're on Route 73 south from Kadoka. Just come down round this corner and here is this whole badlands scenery lit up by the early morning sun. And we didn't have to pay to see it. Yeah, it's quite stunning. And you get a lot more shade with it being early morning and the sun being a little bit low. You get a lot more contrast, and you can see there how the grassland is being eaten into. And you can see how that grassland there is gradually being eroded away, creating more of this strange eroded landscape. And the river, after the rain, the river back there where you couldn't stop, is absolutely milky white. It's just like a river of milk. A little column there, a block of turf on the top, all on its own. Looks really odd. The road surface is absolutely worn into grooves by these huge wagons that have been coming along, and these expansion joints must be murder on cyclists. They're every sort of 20-30 feet along here for 20 miles. One thing I've noticed is that we have travelled halfway across America now. The temperatures have been up 38 degrees Celsius in the shade, and in the winter time it falls to -20, -30 below in these parts. And yet I haven't seen one pothole, and I haven't seen any melted tarmac. How do they do it? And why can't we do it in England, is more the point. Local authorities should be sending, or the government should be sending people over here to find out why our roads in England are in such a shocking state, with minimal temperature variation compared with these places. I mean, this is South Dakota. It's a pretty extreme environment, summer and winter. Big insects over here. Look at the size of this thing. Just found on the roadside here. He's a big locust. And he's not fully grown because he hasn't got his wings yet. So it'll get bigger still. You see the wing buds there on the back. There. So you'll get to be a bigger beast than that. Right, this is halfway. Junctions of 44 and 63 at a place called Corn Creek in the middle of South Dakota. So from here on in, we're on the homeward stretch. Everybody looks really happy and cheerful.
Can we go, Tom?
Hey?
Can we go now?
Go when you like. Well, just coming along the road from Corn Creek towards our next stop, and this great big animal here peering over the fence at me. Look at those horns on there. That's a magnificent animal, is that? And there are several others behind it. Stepping off the road into this grass is not a good idea. It's a sort of rattlesnake country, this. It's an enormous thing. Got calves there as well, but I can't see any bull. Unless that's it there, yeah, that might be the bull. Oh, there's a couple. Longhorn cattle. Oh, spread on that one there. Yes, impressive they are. This is Route 44 East, going across South Dakota from Corn Creek. It's like this for, I don't know, 300 or 400 miles dead straight. There's no wind, but it's very, very hot. So this is the road across South Dakota, Route 44, looking west. And this is the road across South Dakota, Route 44, looking east. And it's frying hot. Everywhere people keep bees. I just mean a few. Big apiaries. Hives around there were an awful lot. And I think they're probably migratory. In other words, I think people come and pick them up and take them, move them to another part of the country. There's a hell of a storm brewing up along the road where they're coming. Just past Wall on our way to Winner. Well, we're approaching the Missouri River. I think about another 10-15 miles to go before we cross into Iowa. And I've just seen a monarch butterfly. An amazing thing that migrates thousands of miles. I suspect it's on its way down to Mexico. Or certainly its generations are on its way to Mexico. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's quite a very big butterfly. This is the River Missouri. And we cross it at this point. You can just see the bridge down there. That's 44 East where it crosses the River Missouri. This is the Missouri River. It's actually dammed downstream by a Randall Dam, and this is called Fort Randall Reservoir. And the 44 East goes across on this bridge. So this is us at the River Missouri. South Dakota. This is us driving across the River Missouri. So this is our picnic lunch on day 19, I think it is, on the banks of the Missouri River in South Dakota. And very nice it is too.
And like the radish.
This is Mitchell Corn Palace. The whole of the upper floor is, all of it is made of corn cobs. The bottom's made of brick. But all these are corn cobs. Zoom in, you'll see them all. Bizarre. Having a look at it. Yeah, they're replacing some of it. Unfortunately, they've got a cherry picker here making a hell of a racket. They're just making these straw battens, these lads, whacking them on with pneumatic staple gun.
Well, actually, your laws are
It's quite nice at night when it's all lit up. Unfortunately, the sun's in the wrong direction today, so everything's in shade. These young guys are making a straw batten. It must be a volunteer sort of thing.
Maybe it's in a spot.
Straws arriving at the far end. They make the battens and then they staple them on onto the board. This is 44 East on the way from Windsor to Sioux Falls. They've just scraped the top off the road for tens of miles. And for cyclists it must be absolutely horrendous. Because for a motorist it's bad enough. That's that way, going east. Turn around. That's that way, going west. You could fall asleep at the wheel here and do 10 miles and you'd still be on the road. Every time a wagon goes past us, dust and stones fly everywhere. Just watch this. Fortunately, wagons don't come along that often. Well, this is Sioux Falls in South Dakota. This young lady here is obviously on some professional photo shoot. And a professional photographer in front of her. In the water, so it's very glamorous. A big beaming smile there. These are Sioux Falls on the River Sioux from the top of the visitor centre after the destruction of the glamorous blonde. The river's very low just now, so they've got a spectacular. I would imagine when there's a flood on, it will really, really be impressive. Little bridge there, and the falls for the most part upstream. I don't know what these things are. They're quite a long tail for a chipmunk. I suppose that's what they are. Here are the cyclists arriving.
But I'm sure they do have to get a lot of
There's Liz, Steve, Mike, and Janice and Dave are still down there. Waiting for a photo. And if I just turn around, you can see the falls. And there's 4 of the team all gazing up. The other one I think's gone up to the RV. So this is Sioux Falls, and this is a bike shop in Sioux Falls, which you may need at some time. It's on Minnesota Avenue going south, just after 26th Street, on the left hand side. Bike shops are few and far between, so it's a rush hour, that's right, all this traffic. So it pays to know where they are anyway. They managed to get everything they needed here, including a new wheel.